But I got asked to do a benefit gig recently for sufferers of obesity. What? She went, sufferers of obesity. I went, you mean fat people? She went, no, because obesity is... Well, she actually went, no, because obesity... She was eating, of course she was eating. She was peckish between snacks, and, no. But she said, obesity is a disease. No, it's not, is it? You just like eating, don't you? No, it's not, is it? Oh, is that a disease? Oh, I'm so fucking ill. Oh, I'm well ill. I'm really ill. I said to her, what's the disease? She went, everything tastes good. Everything? Yeah, not salads. Salads. Oh, it's not a disease, is it? Leprosy is a disease. Can you imagine Jesus in the temple? People come up to him in bandages going, Jesus, my face is falling off. Can't stop now, as a fat bird in a third pie. They eat too much. That's what does it. Simple science. But they complain, don't they, fat people? They complain about the situation. They go, no. I'm getting fat. No. Aeroplane seats. They're not big enough for someone like me. No, they're not. Because if they were, we'd only get 12 fucking people on the plane. Unbelievable. It's not fair. It is fair. That's what happens. And if we're talking about fairness in aeroplanes, why is it I get the same luggage allowance as a bloke who's 40 stone? Why is that allowed? We're both allowed 32 kilograms on the plane. I want to go, no, he used up his 32 kilograms on his tits. It's not a disease. I saw a documentary about a woman who was 28 stone, right? Because she ate 10 pie and chips a day. That'll do it. 10 separate meals of pie and chips. That's all she ate. 10 separate trips to the chip shop. In a cab. Didn't even walk that. Wasted calories. So they wired her jaw together. So she liquidized 10 pie and chips a day. Now she's on pie smoothies. Now she's not even chewing. That used up 5 calories. Do you know what I mean? So she gets fatter. They take her to hospital to have that operation where they staple your stomach together. And she's sitting in hospital looking all depressed. Well, you can't eat for an hour before an operation, can you? And she went, it's a really dangerous procedure, but it's the only option left. One, jogging? You don't even walk. Salads? You don't like the taste. Right. 9 pie and chips a day? It's a start, isn't it? It's a starter to her. Hi, I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
Creators, writers, directors, star of The Office. If you're a fan of that show...
Who isn't?
Yeah, then you've got a treat coming up because it's the entire first series...
Well, if they're a fan, Rick, then they will have already bought the DVD and already seen the show.
Oh, no. Wait, let me finish. It's the entire first series, but with extra bits. We've got interviews of people, we've got... It's a retrospective, people talking about it, A-listers, chatting about why they think The Office is genius. Not my words, I'm not. I do think it's brilliant. Yeah. Do you know my favourite thing in The Office?
Go on.
You?
Thought as much, yeah.
Yeah.
When I first saw The Office, I was struck by how original it was on a bunch of different levels. And I think upon first viewing, I thought, that's really great. And then upon my 38th viewing, realized how genius it was.
My first impression of The Office was that it was a masterpiece, and unfortunately, as time passed by, nothing interfered with that glow.
It was so fresh and new in terms of the style, and for me, it reminded me of a style of humor that, you know, I think, you know, in Spinal Tap, Chris Guest and those guys created. I saw that show and I was like, this is incredible.
When I first saw The Office, I thought, finally, there's something funny being done in the world.
I think the thing that I was most struck by is how original a character David Brent was. I've never seen a character in a movie or in television who is that obsessed with what people think of him. And I think a lot of the comedy comes from that. He's got way too much self-awareness.
I can have a joke and a laugh with the people who, you know, I'm supposed to have authority over, and they love me for it. And all that obviously is always, you love watching Brent, but you don't want to be Brent, you want to be Tim.
That didn't happen by accident. It didn't happen because of my overwhelming charisma. Do you know what I mean? It happened because they wanted Tim to be the, you know, the kind of, I suppose, the emotional focus, or at least they wanted him to be the audience, yeah. And he was, you know.
Apparently they had a completely different idea when they were writing it of the sort of person that Gareth would be. He was supposed to be a much bigger, more macho kind of guy, and yeah, so I've heard that when I came in and auditioned, they changed their mind.
Because if you're genuinely physically scared of somebody, if it had like been Tim and Lee, that kind of character, then you just think, I think he's going to hit Tim. He's going to beat him up, you know. Whereas it's kind of Tim and Gareth, you think there's a man who thinks he's Napoleon.
Every single one of those characters is so perfectly cast and in a sort of new, informal way.
Hello, Wernham Hogg.
And Dawn, just the perfect look, the perfect pitch. You know, not so fabulous that, of course, everyone will be in love with her, but you slowly fell in love with her while you watched her.
I've got kind of hot hands, sorry.
Right, just don't touch my head.
With Dawn, sometimes I wanted to give her a bit of a shake, you know, because she didn't pursue the guy that she really did want to. The camera is like another character in The Office. It's a whole other member of our show, because it added so much depth, I think, to what people said and did.
Obviously, one of the key aspects of the show was the sort of documentary style, and that had sort of been born out of how we'd originally got it made, and we shot something in a little documentary style. And we did that because it was a very quick way of filming. You can get a lot done quickly in a documentary style. You've got to worry about the finesse. And then over time, we realised that the whole sort of documentary boom that was happening at the time, the sort of docu-soap, things like Driving School and the Airport programme, were throwing up these amazing characters who suddenly were acting in a very specific way because of the fact they were being filmed.
I think the most extraordinary thing about the documentary format, obviously, was Ricky's performance with the camera. That you had his ghastly behaviour, and then on top of the fact that he thought that his ghastly behaviour was absolutely excellent and cool and interesting and complicated.
To the stage where they could actually make it. That's what made it a success, that they knew exactly what they were doing.
We didn't want anything sexy or cool or rock and roll. It was all anti that.
The opening titles, they just blew me away. I remember first time I saw it was about.
One of the first things that Ricky ever did as the David Brent character, he had a couple of scenarios in his head that used to play out for me when we worked together. One of which was his character, his sort of seedy boss character, interviewing a woman and his slightly lascivious, lecherous manner, which is actually something we downplayed in Brent. Brent, in the original form, was a lot more seedy, perhaps, than he later became, but certainly that scene where he's interviewing the girl.
Brent doesn't think that that's creepy. He thinks that's romantic. He thinks he's a bit of a Lothario. He's thinking he's setting the mood for love. He doesn't think this is seedy or anything, does he? So he thinks she's going to go, "You're the most interesting man I've ever met." And you're handsome with your little beard.
One of the things is it's a great physical performance by Ricky. You know, I mean, obviously the gestures have now become slightly over well known, the tie and the looks to camera. But he does sometimes, every so often, he will do bigger stuff. He'll be when a woman's around, as opposed to the way he'll be when someone who he's frightened of will be around, some higher status person will be around.
Regular guys working in an office instead of a factory or being a mechanic. And what we did was we showed the difference between the two lad, but he knows it's wrong. And he knows this thing sexism, he's heard of that, and he knows about misogyny, he knows all those things, he knows all the isms, he just doesn't really fully hates having a woman as a boss. Deep down he hates it. And he hates being undermined anyway by a woman. He hates being undermined by anyone in front of the camera. So it just, his world just implodes in that episode. One of the other themes in The Office is comedy itself, you know. You get a lot of things off your chest. We had a go at people just shouting catchphrases.
Ricky, leave it!
Props, just bringing in a funny thing.
I would have enjoyed watching Tim and Dawn and their journey because it didn't seem implausible and it didn't seem unreachable. They made it feel as if you could have these little things inside you, these little stories that can come out, rather than it being this glossy Hollywood love story where they all end up brilliantly happy, but everyone's unbelievably rich and beautiful and in, you know, sunny lands, and it doesn't feel like where we are, you know what I mean? And so I think I would have enjoyed seeing it play out.
For someone like me, the romantic drama, particularly of the great Christmas special, you know, is one of the great romantic comedies of all time, one of the great romantic stories of all time. I mean, I think the very best sitcoms have had profound things at the bottom of them. I suppose that's what makes them good.
All of my favourite shows have always had a sort of romantic strand in them, whether it be Northern Exposure or Moonlighting or Friends. And I think it's one of the reasons, one of the things we liked is the kind of soap opera feel that the best of those shows have. You know, soap opera not being a sort of a damning phrase at all, that actually there's something about watching from week to week and building an understanding of that world and caring about those characters that's very unique to television. And a lot of British comedies don't seem to do that enough, and it seems strange. You know, you're coming week after week, so you can draw people in. And so we were very keen to have that romantic thread, because we knew if we just kept going, it would just become the sort of beating heart of the show in a way.
The supporting cast were actors, but sometimes it just said in the script, man one, woman one. And we gave them all names anyway, just in case it popped up, because we wanted that realism. They came in every day, they were sat in their seats, and they'd really be typing. And then one thing in the script said, someone leaves a message on his answer phone, and it was Ewan, and he was just cracking us up.
Hello, I'll call you tomorrow.
One of our pet hates was exposition, where someone walks into a room and goes, Jonathan, you know your sister, the one that went to the Gambia, who's a doctor? Yeah. But we found out that we could do that with Keith. Because of his strange, laconic tone, he could remind the audience what had happened and what was embarrassing. So,
With me taking a bite into the Scotch egg, we're talking about watching peak practice. Boring, isn't it? Just staying in watching peak practice with your life.
Yeah.
Not for me, I like it.
I'll just stay.
That was so good. That was so good.
Something would put us off, or something would go, and one of us would always kind of crack and lose it, and we just couldn't get it right. We got through 3 or 4 Scotch eggs, and eventually they had to give me ones back that had a bite taken out of them because they didn't have enough bought for the number of takes it took. So a couple of times I had to disguise a bite that had already been taken out and go in again. Boring, isn't it? Just staying in watching peak practice with your life.
Yeah, it is.
Not for me, I like it.
Yeah, I just stayed in at a big... It was one of the 400,000 scenes that we couldn't do in under 4 hours because it was just a lot of laughing, you know.
I was the worst corpser of all. Yeah, I mean, it's strange because my job is to try and make people laugh for my own amusement, but sometimes that goes wrong and I can see fear in their face, or I found myself funny and I'd laugh and ruin a take. Also, even if you've written the lines, if they're funny, I still laugh.
What's the difference?
A dwarf is someone who has disproportionately short arms and legs.
I'm so sorry.
What's the difference?
A dwarf is someone
Fucking hell! You can't help corpsing. You can't help. You can help putting people off and making them corpse. But if someone's finding something funny, you know, I celebrate that, really.
I thought I found a lump. I examine myself regularly. I get checked out. It's fine, but terrifying. Testicular cancer. Cancer of them old testicles. What's that?
Oh, God, that was a great one. We'll do it again.
Please.
We'll do it again. Damn!
Steve came over once in the office and said, Rick, it's like making your own TV show isn't interesting enough for you. You've got to have other things going on. And so, I do, you know, I multitask. I try and get something in the can, and I try and ruin the take for my own amusement.
Action.
9.99 pure silk, so I had to snap it up. OK.
He can't stand to do the same take twice, and so he would change something about it every time.
Action.
And Wally Burton, 2 for 10 quid, so I went, yes, please.
Something would have to be different, and that was the thing that would crack you up.
Action.
And, you know, Deaf Nobby Burton, who comes around with a case, 2 for...
Why are you making it harder for yourself?
OK, I'm sorry. OK, I'll just say Nobby Burton, who comes around with a case. 2 for 10, I've got 4.
I think sometimes he'll improvise an idea that will amuse him and that will amuse someone else. And now Ricky thinks, right, OK, I've got them now. And then he will just keep going. He just thinks, well, this for my own amusement. Even though we're making a TV show, the clock's ticking, we're losing money, and we've got to get it on BBC Two. He's thinking, no.
That probably contributed to making it so funny as well, because it was so fresh. Each one of those takes that finally got into the series was unique.
I've only just reached a point where I can watch it now and enjoy it and not really be thinking about how it was made or what he was doing that day that was terribly annoying. Now I start to see it, I think, for the first time as audiences do, and I can't remember some of the episodes, I can't remember some of the scripts. Jokes amuse me now for the first time, and so I've just got to a point where I can sort of see it and enjoy it. And now I feel more proud perhaps than I did then, because I really feel excited when I see a little clip of it somewhere, because it just feels such a three-dimensional world. I think that's the thing you're always trying to chase as a writer, is a world in which people believe those characters exist and that somewhere they're out there, and that, I think, you know, is its sort of greatest, for me at least, our greatest achievement.
Yeah, I mean, I've only got fond memories of everything from meeting Steve to
Thanks, mate.
winning the Golden Globes, you know.
What I think really, you know, has changed American television is that by bringing over an American version of The Office and really staying true to the tone of the original, and then it becoming a success in America, has totally revitalized comedy on television in the States. I
keep it on in my house sometimes just for comfort. I just keep it on. I'm not even necessarily watching it. I'm just sort of listening to it because I find it comforting to... That sounds weird. Yeah, I keep my pants on.
Staggered at how successful The Office has been worldwide, and I think that what I love about it the most is that the characters are essentially the same in the remade shows. Brent is still Brent, and Tim and Dawn still Tim and Dawn, Gareth still Gareth, even though the names aren't the same. The characters essentially are...
At one time or another, every bloke in the office is woken up at the crack of dawn.
What?
La chef réceptionniste. Ça va? Ah oui, oh, viens. Anne, viens. Oh oui, viens, Anne. Oh, viens!
À la camita.
Il est chiant, il arrête pas de me mettre du fromage partout dans mes affaires.
Pero mire, pero ¿cómo hay a desperdiciar comida, hombre, por Dios? ¿Pero cuánta gente puede alimentar?
I thought I found a lump.
Realmente me encontré un poroto, una cuestión re fea.
Cancer des testicules. Mes pauvres petites testicules. C'est quoi?
I look back and there was that romance with writing our first sitcom, you know. But I couldn't be proud of The Office. I honestly couldn't be proud of The Office, even if it hadn't won any awards and hadn't done. You know, I think that I was proud when we'd finished writing it. I knew that we'd done our best, and it's the first time I've ever tried my hardest at anything as well.
There was nothing really about that job, the entire job, that was not very enjoyable, especially in hindsight, because you come away and you do lots of other jobs. I've done lots of jobs before and lots of jobs since, And as always, you don't fully appreciate things when they're going on, you know. You forget that, oh yeah, this isn't all going to be as much fun as this, you know.
I haven't worked on anything that was such a joy to work on since. I've worked on some great stuff and had a great time, but there was something very special about that, about working on that, and we knew it.
That particular job was full of nice people, funny people, smart people, and people that I was glad to see every day, and sorry when that ended.
I'm still proud of it to this day, and you know, people ask me about it the whole time, and I'm always happy to answer their questions, because it was a very important part of my life, and still is.
My biggest ambition from a young age was to write, honestly, was to write and be involved with a sitcom that would be thought of, you know, fondly, and possibly even amongst, you know, the sort of much-loved sitcoms. And I feel like to some degree we've achieved that. And so now I don't know what I'm doing with the rest of my life. Now I've got to sort of recalibrate my expectations. Now I'm just filling up the hours before I die. That's why I'm here today. That's not gloomy, is it?
Well, you got voiceover work, though, haven't you?
I've got some voiceover work, yeah. I've got some voiceover work. Barclays.
Sell out. Who are your comedy heroes and influences?
When I was growing up, I loved the Bilko Show.
Every week, he's trapped, he's in this, you know, it could be prison or whatever, it just happens to be the army. It laid out the blueprint for sitcom, I think. I love Bilko.
And I loved Abbott and Costello.
Chuck, what? Do we have to sleep in this room? Why, you're not afraid, are you? No. But if you see a pair of pants flying through the air, don't grab them. Why? I'll be in them!
I loved Abbott and Costello, I did, but I always felt that I had Laurel and Hardy.
Well, here's another nice kettle of fish you pickled me in.
I think they were too sophisticated for me when I was a kid. There was something I didn't quite latch onto about them. I don't know why.
It's the relationship that I love. You know, I'm with this idiot. It's almost like I'd be okay if it wasn't for this fool. And it's the way they share that screen time that Stan's the idiot and he says stupid things. And Ollie can't believe he says those things.
Well, what's the matter?
Where's that clock?
What clock?
The clock you paid $290 for.
Why, that's ridiculous. Where would I get $290?
Where's that clock?
I don't know. He said he was going to keep it in the dark. And if I didn't keep my mouth shut, then nobody would be any the wiser.
Oh!
Now, why didn't you keep your trap shut?
And I think there's a certain amount of that with you and Jeff. You take turns. Sometimes you're the Stan, where you say the wrong thing and it's out there. And sometimes you're the, why do you say that? What, you're an idiot.
Oh, my God! What are you... Here.
Oh, needed this.
Susie's here.
What? What is going on here? What are you doing here?
The amount of sleep that I've lost...
What
thinking
are
about
you
this...
doing here?
Listen, and I'll tell you. Sammy's shelf has been on my mind. I've always thought the shelf was loose.
And you brought Larry to help you with the shelf?
I know a lot about shelving. I put up all the shelves in my house. And
You put the shelves up in your... I find that hard
He knows
to believe,
a lot
Larry.
about shelving.
No, I put them all up. And I was
California
gonna,
closets over
check
here
out
all of a sudden?
the shelves here.
Look, get the hell... Leave!
Jeff, in a way, has a tough role on my show because he's a confidant. Sometimes he's just there to be helpful to the story. You know?
It's such a useful character, though, isn't it? Because he knows everything. And,
I couldn't do the show without that character.
It's almost like setting you up. You know, it's sending you on your way. And yeah.
Now, Cheryl is so adept at doing that kind of thing.
Oh, by the way, did you tell Wanda she has a big ass?
I didn't tell Wanda she had a big ass.
She'll always know exactly how to make a scene funnier.
Why? What's the big deal? What if I did say she has a big ass? So what? That's not so terrible. What's the matter with a big ass? I like big asses. There's no problem.
You like big asses?
I don't mind a big ass. I mean, no, that's not necessarily
no,
big.
This is interesting.
No, what?
You love big asses?
No, I don't love big asses.
How big do you like them?
I like them just the regular. I like them just like yours, okay?
Oh,
that's how I
because
like
mine is really big.
No,
and I
it's
like
not
them
really
big.
big. It's not. It's good size.
You just said I love big asses and I like yours.
And completely gives herself over to it. No ego at all. Always knows where to take a scene to get it funnier.
No, this
there's
stuff
nothing
is
kinky.
unfolding now.
Nothing's
Which
unfolding.
is interesting. After years together, I'm just finding out.
What are you,
like,
crazy?
all these
No,
sexual
that's
things
so
about you
untrue.
that I had no
Don't.
idea.
No, I'm not the deviant.
I didn't say deviant.
Presumably you get the ideas from real life, their observations or things that you think may happen. And is it all for the comedy, or is there any part of it that's you getting something off your chest?
I'm not consciously trying to get things off my chest, I don't think. But things do occur where I go, this will be a good thing to do on my show, that had I said it at the time, I would have gotten something off my chest.
Right.
Like this one scene that we did, the check came and Cheryl and I were out to dinner with another couple.
Come on, Larry. No,
Larry.
no splitting.
Please.
No splitting.
You picked up the last one.
Thank you, Stu.
Anyway, thanks, Stu. That's very nice of you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What about me? You can thank me too?
And thank you, Susan.
You're welcome.
Why do I have to thank you?
For dinner that my husband and I treated you to?
Oh, I thought he treated me to it.
Stu pulled out the credit card and put it down, yes.
Yeah. So I thanked him.
And he's using our money to pay for it. So you could thank us. We're taking you out to dinner.
Well, you can call it our money, but just for the sake of discussion, he's the one who goes to work and earns the money. You don't work. So something like that came up in my life. You know, I thank the wife. I'm not a sociopath. I can't say that, you know. But I knew immediately that this is something I want to do on the show. So in that sense, yeah, it is a way to get things off my chest.
The trouble is that I have with watching Curb Your Enthusiasm is that I agree with everything Larry says. Outside that sort of mild male autism, where it's probably better that he doesn't always say what he's thinking, I think he's right.
Well, that's why I like that Larry so much better than this Larry.
It'd be great to be like him, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it be
freedom.
great? Yeah.
The freedom, not burdened by conscience.
Absolutely.
Not ringing people up and going, I'm so sorry. Just going, nah.
Yeah, he's happy, that guy.
Look what's going on with this kid.
Wow.
Honestly, it's huge.
It's a bigger penis than mine. He's got a bigger penis than me.
We all have the good thoughts and the bad thoughts. But, you know, nobody ever expresses the bad thoughts. We just think them and we don't say them.
Yeah.
But the bad thoughts are funny. I saw your son at the pool.
Yeah.
Kid's got some penis on him. It's pretty good.
What are you saying?
Your son. His penis.
Wait, what are you saying that me for?
Hey, it's a compliment. What's the big deal?
What's the compliment?
Well, how's it bad? How's it bad? He's got a nice big penis. So what?
Well, I'm not talking about your wife's tits. This is rude.
You could say my wife has nice tits as long as it's complimentary.
And when you come back and you say that, you know, I mentioned his kid's penis, she says,
Why would you do that, Larry?
and you say, and this sums up what I think a comedian's mind, you say,
I took a risk.
And that's what comedians do. Sometimes you think, well, mate, you know, it might go down well, it might not, but I just say it.
I mean, that's how we're all going through life, isn't it? Just not saying what we really want to say.
We're going through life compromising.
Exactly.
For the good of everyone.
Right.
Yeah. I suppose that's why people like yourself don't compromise in your art. That's where no one can get hurt. It's up to you. Art, you're allowed to be a complete fascist. There's no, what about me? It doesn't matter. I don't care about you. This is that you do your own program. I'm in charge of this. There should be no compromise in art.
I think it's because there's I don't know about your case, but in my case, I'm such a liar in my life. Not
really.
Well, lying about or keeping things to myself.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, not really telling my true feelings. That I feel like I want to go completely the other way when I have the opportunity.
And that's why you create superheroes like Larry.
Well, I think if you're any good, you kind of have to have a compulsion to tell the truth.
Absolutely.
Don't you think?
Absolutely. Yeah. And without guilt.
Yeah.
This is guilt-free truth comedy.
Yeah.
I think. and my girlfriend of over 30 years, Jane, although she hasn't really contributed to my career. No, I'm saying this is sort of all me. In fact, thinking about it, she has done fuck all.
Hello, Tiny Tim.
Hello. Oh. I bet it looks even worse from that angle.
Keep going. Right.
See?
Yeah, no.
There's a body in the boot of the car.
Right.
Who do you call for help and why? Gordon Ramsay, Kate Winslet, or Ross Kemp?
Winslet's out.
OK.
With my back, I need a big, strong bloke to help me. I was in a restaurant, right? And it was a lovely restaurant, right? It was nice and quiet. I'd eat about 6 p.m, so it's nice and quiet. And the waiter came over, and every time he sort of walked back and forth, he just went... Ramsay would try and cook it. Take your shirt off. Gordon, put your shirt on.
It's not a kebab, Gordon.
Yeah. Stop drawing attention to yourself. Kids are scroungers, aren't they? I mean, from day one, it's all me, isn't it? Feed me, clothe me, pay for my chemotherapy.
Ricky, can we look at a picture of you in your pop career?
Which one's which?
I'm not embarrassed by that. I'm embarrassed by this. Everyone's going, what the fuck happened?
You're on trial in Thailand.
Never gonna happen. Right.
Who do you choose to be your defence lawyer?
Right.
And why?
Right.
Steve Carell,
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson,
Yeah.
or Stephen Merchant?
I think Steve Carell.
I think you've chosen wisely.
He owes me.
Can you do this?
No!
All right, stand next to me.
Right.
Stand next to me.
Right.
Stand right here next to me.
Yeah.
Which one's the American?
Jane thought she'd made a new friend, but it was just a shadow. Jane thinking about making new friends. Jane is looking so happy because her new friend hasn't walked away yet. But does she not know you're doing it? Does she not think, where is he? Where is he?
She sees the tweet.
I love English graveyards.
Yeah, they're great.
Does remind us.
Well, it is. That it's finite, and all the things we care about now mean fuck all. They mean nothing.
The things that people have got furious with you about.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the fullness of time.
Oh, they love me when I'm dead. We talked about nothing but our balls for about 6. Is that true?
And here comes Mr. Bennell with his big balls. And here comes Mr. Gervais with his suspiciously round balls.
You know, that's why a comedian should be fat and old and ugly. Because if you're young and beautiful... No, not you. No, not you. No, what I mean is, I've died. Go on. No, I've really done it.
Just found this photo of Jane when she was little. There had to be a gift. You must have given her a gift after that.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's what being in a relationship for 30 years does. I mean, there's no better thing in the world. Not a car, not money, not a house. A dog, it's fucking amazing. It's 15 years of joy and then terrible sadness. Tell me your names and where you're from.
My name is Daniel, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
And why do you want this job?
I wanted this job because you're amazing,
Thank you.
and I get paid.
That's exactly why I took the job. One little girl just went to me, "Are you married?" And I said, "No, but I've been with the same girl for like 30 years. She went, "Why don't you propose to her then?" And then another little girl said, you should get her a ring, because you ain't that special. We were outside in the graveyard. I think Bob was having a cigarette, right? And our Uncle Mick came along, and we hadn't seen Uncle Mick for, like, about 20 years, right? And this old man, he went, hello, boys. And Bob sort of looked at him and recognised him and sort of went, Jesus, like that, right? And then Bob looked around the graveyard and said, is there any point you going home? Time a journalist says that how much is a pint of milk, I'm going to say, here's £1,000, run and get me one. What have I got?
What have you got?
That's all I've got on me.
That'll do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
He's actually taken it. And then he came up to Bob's window again, and he had one of those sort of mirrors with a stick on it, just looking under the car like that. And as he did that, his helmet fell off. And out of the helmet fell, like, 20 cigarettes. And the copper just went, oh, just being nice. He just said to Bob, I bet you always wonder what we kept under our helmets. And Bob went, I knew it wasn't brains.
Someone said to me once on Twitter, without a god, you don't believe in God, then why don't you just go out and rape and murder as much as you want? And I said, I do, which is not at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I have a conscience. Why would I? If you're not murdering someone because you think God's watching you, you're not a good person. You're just scared of the consequences.
That's the only...
I don't care. No, don't worry about being dead. So you don't know about it. That's the best thing about being dead. You don't know about it. It's like being stupid. It's only painful for others. So I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Go to the pharmacist because I mean they're hugely underused within the
underrated experts. They are the experts in side effects in all medications. So unless you're really
you can't do a
seriously
prostate
unwell,
exam though in boots, can you?
You do a lot though, can't you?
last time I looked, your prostate wasn't a medicine.
There's a party going on right here. A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too.
Yes, she makes bread from her yeast from a certain part of her anatomy, and she also makes rice puddings out of her own breast milk. Right?
Yeah.
Both those are true stories.
True stories.
Yeah, not people I met. No,
Are you sure?
It's not restaurants I go to.
We're gonna celebrate and party with you. Come on! The bring good times. Come on!
And now that you're older, has it occurred to you again, have you given any more thought to God and whether he might be real?
Yeah, I think about it every day.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's not.
What do you think it is that people must, why must everyone have it?
I can't say what I'm thinking. And they all are too.
Yeah.
Everyone's thinking it.
Go ahead, say it.
Can you not drive at all?
I know.
No, but do you know how?
Well, I've seen people do it. I don't.
But you don't have a license.
What?
You don't have a license.
No.
Okay.
You can't drink and drive, so what's the point?
That's kind of... What constitutes the world of Ricky Gervais? When you say world tour,
well,
like in America we have the World Series, but it's just us fighting
Exactly.
us.
And same as Mr. Universe always comes from Earth. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a fix. Yeah.
How would you use it?
I would
Upper body, lower body, outside, inside?
You can use it for both.
Would you want to sit on it, or...?
That's ridiculous.
No?
You'd like to be like an evil supervillain.
Yeah, that'd be good.
What would your power be, do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I hadn't thought it through. I didn't know. Do I have to have a... Can't I just... I'd be annoying. I'm really annoying. I could do that.
You'd be not just super, you'd be super annoying.
Yeah, anyone that came to Batman would go, oh, this. It's just...
What is the best thing about having one of these?
The length.
Yeah. Not so much the width.
The width is important, but I prefer... Personally, I prefer a long, thin one to a short, fat one.
Oh, no, but you look so calm.
I know, I had some of your heroin.
I was wondering where I put that.
What is the worst thing about getting older?
That you have to pick one.
Pendulous testicles. They're getting, no.
Google, hold on a second.
Yeah. You could just put little random things in there.
Oh my God.
Right.
Can I help you in any way?
Yeah, look, just anything. Anything makes it look just a little bit, more medical. Right, look at this, right? This is, right? So...
Name 3 female body parts.
2 eyes and a nose.
2 eyes counts as 1 eye. You can't
2 eyes and a
no.
nose. You didn't say specifically female. 2 eyes and a nose, that's 3. Females have got 2 eyes and a nose, that's 3. That counts.
What is the dumbest thing you've ever done while you were drunk?
Oh, where does... No, I just thought of one. I don't know if it's dumbest. I
knew you'd have a good answer for this.
I weed on my girlfriend once.
Name 3 Tom Hanks movies.
Toy Story 1, 2, and 3.
No!
If you're born in India, you're probably a Hindu. If you're born in America, you're probably a Christian. If you're born in Pakistan, you're probably a Muslim. That's a coincidence, isn't it? That you're always born into the right God. Always. Isn't that lucky? I was born under the right God. All those others are going to hell. But I was born into the right religion. I'm going to heaven.
Ricky, name 3 things you can cover with chocolate.
A cake, yourself, someone else. I think we're like tourists, right? We didn't exist for 13.5 billion years.
That's interesting.
Then we've got like 80, 90 years, if we're lucky, and then we go back to never existing again. So you've got to make the most of it. It's amazing, life. It's brilliant. There's so much to live for. But then you die.
Yeah.
That looks like I'm giving birth to myself. Oh, look, it's a ginger Frankenstein. You know, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So if God doesn't give you comfort, what does?
Dogs. I believe in dogs. You're 65 this Thursday, aren't you?
That's correct, yes.
You can't use this till Thursday. This is official. I got you a bus pass and senior citizens.
Oh, it's a Metro card. There it is.
What's on your head?
That's Christmas Day. So, yeah. No, they ask me all the time in the press, why don't you have children? Which is a really odd question to ask someone, why don't you have children?
Yeah.
As opposed to asking people, why do you have children? Do you know what I mean? It's like...
You don't care about dying?
No, I don't. Well, I don't care about being dead. Because I won't know about it.
You don't know?
That is the best thing about being dead. You don't know about it. It's like being stupid. It's only painful for others. So... I guess so.
We're on TBS.
Right, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, no, it's a growing concern.
Okay.
It's really in 30 years we're going to be.
What channel? What number on the dial?
Well, it depends what medium you're using.
Yeah.
Direct TV would be 247.
247.
247.
Who finds it? They're definitely looking for porn if they find it. Okay, thanks very much, Doctor. Sorry. Do you mind if I masturbate?
or you must wake up in the morning and say, thank God for my amazing things that are happening. And you said, why would I say thank God? I'm an atheist.
Right.
And it was the first time I'd heard the word atheist on kind of public radio.
Well, I mean, yeah, there shouldn't even be the word, should there? If people didn't invent gods, I wouldn't have to deny them. And it's just... but it's like... I was told when I sort of started breaking America to not mention I was an atheist.
Really?
Oh, 'cause first thing I did. On every first thing I did. Why? What am I going to lose? Imagine not doing something because people hate you because of what you are. That's you know, that's my only thing I've got. I'm a white, rich, middle-class man, but at least I'm hated for being an atheist. Do you know what I mean?
And,
I'm oppressed. I'm oppressed in 13 countries I'd never go to anyway.
Have you seen a change in your, over the last, I don't know, that's 20 years or so, about how atheism is perceived?
Well, I mean, you sort of do it... there's part of me that does it because I think I should, that there is someone being persecuted now that might, you know... I can't change the world, but what I mean, maybe someone in a Western world that thinks they shouldn't come out because it's a bad thing. Because it's still a bad thing in Western society. In America, they took a vote, America, right? Probably that big bit in the middle of America, but we were voted least trustworthy group, joint bottom with rapists. So there's still a thing about, I better not say I'm an atheist, it'll annoy my mum or dad or granddad or school. There's still that. So you do that. Some of it I do it as an intellectual pursuit, because someone asks me a question, I'd rather give the right answer than the wrong answer. I'd rather tell the truth than lie, because it's easier, you know. I think the big thing, people think I run into churches and go, it's all fucking bollocks. I don't care. You know, I don't... But if I'm asked if I believe in God, I'll say no. I mean, you know, the tricky one is I did a film called The Invention of Lying, where I did a scene where thank you, 7 people saw that film, where my mother in that is dying, and it's because I'm the only person in the society who can lie. She says, I don't want to go to nothingness, and I go, there's not nothingness. It's a beautiful place you go, and you're young again, and I invent heaven, right? And that comes from the fact that when my mum was dying, I did face a dilemma. If she'd have said, do you think there's a God? That's a personal thing, and that's you know. I just try and be honest, really. And the other thing is, if someone else's kid, 5-year-old, asks me, do I believe in God? I sort of think, what should I say here? And I say, well, I don't, but a lot of people do. What do you think? You know, I try and... there's still a level of diplomacy. It's not always my place. You know what I mean? Mm. I don't... you know, my house, my rules. If someone asks me something on Twitter, I tell them the truth. It's, you know...
And there's also this strange thing that I get from faithful people. Why don't you believe in God? Well, that's a very strange question. Why don't you believe in God? Well, you came up with it. Why would I? As to saying I don't know, well, if you're agnostic about God in all his glory and in all his impossibility, you've got to be the same about Santa. You have got to say, I don't know. I want to say to an agnostic, what's your best guess there? Go on, have a punt. In fact, I don't ask agnostic. I don't say to agnostics, is there a God? I say, do you believe in God? Now, you can't say I don't know to that question, because if you say I don't know, you're an idiot. What you don't know if you believe or not. And I had this discussion with someone on Twitter, actually, and he said, well, that's not true, because I can ask you, am I wearing a red jumper? And you have no way of informing your guess. And that's true. But now ask me if you're wearing a red jumper that created the universe. Now I can have a little guess. No. No, you are not. It's mental.
Well, also for you, because anyone who follows you on Twitter, and you have a huge following, they'll know that you are a pathological atheist, and therefore the thought of death is very final for you. And for me, as a good Irish Catholic boy, it's the start of something new and glorious. For you, that's it.
For me, it's the end of something glorious, so I have to pack it all in. But, you know, I'm not depressed about it. I don't want to die any more than anyone else. And I think there's this strange myth that atheists have nothing to live for. It's the opposite. We have nothing to die for.
You have more to live for.
We
because
have everything to live for.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would imagine you have a more focused attention to life because you think it ends when you die.
I think it's precious. I think it's beautiful. I think the world is amazing. I love people, animals, art, every hobby. I can't believe my luck that I'm alive for these 70 or 80 years. Might be less. Wait, you know, I'm not long for this world. My nan used to say that. She lived till 83. I think it was 40 years we were going, I'm not long for this world.
What are you said the things you like. What are the things that really annoy you?
Only two things really, really make my blood boil, I suppose. I suppose in general, as I get older, injustice. Injustice quietly makes my blood boil. Either personal, social, political, you know, personal. I suppose the two main categories are religious intolerance, this arrogance that you think, you know, arguing over whose God is right sort of gets me down a little bit, you know. And I've got no problem with spirituality. I really haven't. You know, that's another myth. And I always try and make the difference clear between spirituality and religion. One is a very personal feeling, a journey, a hope, or whatever, a need, you know, a joy. And the other is an organised body that uses that for power and corruption in many cases. In many cases. And you know, I don't have either, but I suppose I think that when it affects me, that's when I have a say in it. And religion affects me. Religion's very real. Spirituality, it doesn't really affect me. There's lots we don't know, but we don't jump to conclusions. We don't know everything about the brain, but that's not to say that everything about the brain is unknowable.
We rejoice in not knowing, not because we don't want to know, but because we've got something to work on.
Absolutely. That's why people do puzzles. It comes back to hobbies. You do a puzzle because you don't know the answer yet.
And scientists are doing puzzles trying to find out the answers to the nature of reality.
Absolutely. Of course, that's all we're doing. Science just tries to understand the world a bit more for its own ends.
And it's a wonderful process.
It's fantastic.
It's worth living for.
Because it should enhance mankind. You know, this ridiculous thing about science coming up with the atomic bomb. I don't know what argument that is. That's evil. Well, no. This other one as well. How many times have you heard someone say, some idiot fundamentalist say, well, Hitler was atheist?
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, it makes no difference. There are good and bad atheists. There are good and bad people who believe in God. But very few atheists kill in the name of atheism.
Exactly.
It's an irrelevance to me. I hate being labelled an atheist because it's not how I live my life. I don't live my life going around going, I'm an atheist, I'm an atheist.
No, exactly.
There's billions of other aspects to my life, why I do things. It just, when God's brought into the equation, I don't take that on board. I don't do anything because of God's watching me, or because I feel God owns anything, or God's driving me. You know, it's a strange word and it's a strange label.
It is. Hitler actually wasn't an atheist.
No, I know, he was a Catholic, wasn't he?
Yes. Stalin probably was an atheist, but neither of them did their good things or their bad things. Not they didn't.
Of course not.
Neither of them did their bad things because they believed or because they didn't believe in God.
No, of course not. It was irrelevant. I remember. I think. What were you on? Were you on a show in America when someone said, "Well, Stalin and Hitler were both atheists," and I think you said, "Well, they both had moustaches as well."
Yes.
It's just as relevant. A totally irrelevant statistic. Yeah, in the greater scheme of things, there are probably worse things than people believing in all the different gods. It doesn't affect me because I'm free and liberated and safe. But yeah, you can still be annoyed. It's ignorance that annoys me more than anything. Whatever it is, it's not. I don't want to keep going after religion because that's only one form of this belligerent, willful. And it's not even that. It's you can't sort of help what you believe in. Most people aren't going around thinking this will annoy people or I'm trying to oppress people's rights. They just think, I believe in God because that's how my brain worked when I was little, and now I think, yeah, there's probably a God. And most religious people aren't crazy. It's something else. Again, it's something, you know. We worry about the people who believe the bad bits in their holy book as well as the good bits. Most nice people who believe in God, they can tell the difference. They know the nice bits. They cherry pick and they know the nice bits from the bad bits. They don't do the bad bits. And my point is, if you know the bad bits from the good bits, you don't need the holy book. You know, you're already a moral person. I think it's very important you challenge your own beliefs. I mean that's what science does, really. It doesn't constantly try and prove itself right. It follows the evidence, whatever that is. In fact, it tries to prove itself wrong. It doesn't sulk. When science thinks something and then it discovers it was wrong, it doesn't sulk because it found that out too. It's the question I often get, that people say, well, you're an atheist, you know, you're closed-minded. Well, no, I'm not. You know, that's a strange thing to say. I think the opposite is true. I'm going to always follow the evidence, whatever that is. And they say things like, if someone proved to you God existed, would you believe? Well, of course I would, by definition. In fact, it would be the greatest scientific discovery of all time. Scientists would celebrate. They'd run round. At the moment, we have no evidence for the existence of any God or anything supernatural. Never have. Possibly never will. But who knows? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. When someone puts forward a jar of God, we test it for its godliness. And if we find there's anything godly in it, we'll write it down. I think that's really important, and it comes back to the point we made earlier about ideas not having human rights, because I think people think when we criticise religion, we're criticising people who are religious, which couldn't be further from the truth, because we think they're victims too.
Absolutely.
You
I mean,
know.
the word Islamophobia is all about that.
Yeah.
People think that if you criticize Islam, you're criticizing Muslims. Quite the contrary, they're the primary victims of Islam.
Well, well, this is the other thing, that sometimes I say to Christians, why do you believe in that God? And they say, well, it's the only God to believe in. I went, yeah, but if you were born in Delhi, you wouldn't believe in that God, probably. If you were born in ancient Rome, you certainly wouldn't believe in that God. You know, but it is a thing there that they...
Yes, you believe in the God of your parents and your grandparents. Most people do.
I think so, yeah. I mean, you know, there's conversions, and there are many people that seek one. I don't know, they window shop. They go, what can you do for me? What do I have to do? Forget it. What do you do? I can still smoke and drink? I'll have that one. You know, of course. Yeah.
There are people who say, well, I was on a quest and I tried Buddhism and it was all right, but I thought maybe I'd try again, so I tried Hinduism.
I know, yeah. Look, which one spoke to you?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. And, but it should be irrelevant, but it isn't, because it does infringe on people's liberties. Certainly religion, not spirituality. You know, someone believing in God, that's fine.
Harmless.
Absolutely, doesn't bother me at all. Religion isn't harmless. It's when your God starts telling you that you should kill homosexuals, and you
exactly.
know, that's when it's not harmless anymore. I think religion's greatest trick wasn't convincing some people that there was a God who was all-powerful. It was convincing everyone else that you couldn't ridicule that idea. It's when you get them. I think there'd be more atheists and less faithful if you weren't allowed to teach anything, you weren't allowed to mention any gods or any beliefs or atheism, right, until they were 20. I think we'd see a different pattern. The human brain, when it's young, is a sponge. It has to be. It has to take in all the information. It has to trust its parents, its elders, to survive. Without question, don't touch the fire. Why not? Don't go near the wolf. Don't touch that spider with a red bit. Don't touch that. Why not? Just don't. There is a God. What? There is a God. And if you're bad, you go to hell. Okay? And if that's constantly confirmed, like all the other things, wolves eat you, black widows kill you, fires burn you, if it's given that same level of credence and truth, you're never going to get over it. It's going to be a lot harder to undo that. I think the myths came up, maybe, you know, often as a stopgap to knowledge until we find out more. You know, the Earth is flat, and now we've proved now, okay, the Earth's not flat, we were wrong, okay? But that's not personal. You don't take that personally. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect your afterlife, you know? And so they often want to hold on to that, right? But only because of the way they've been conditioned. We know it's fun to tell children there's a Santa Claus, and there's fairies at the bottom of the garden, and all these cute things. It's cute till they're 7 or 8. If they're 34, it's a bit embarrassing socially. This is my son. What's he doing? He's looking for fairies. Is he? Okay, we better leave. If you're born in India, you're probably a Hindu. If you're born in America, you're probably a Christian. If you're born in Pakistan, you're probably a Muslim. That's a coincidence, isn't it? That you're always born into the right God. Always. Isn't that lucky? I was born into the right God. All those others are going to hell. But I was born into the right religion. I'm going to heaven. It's strange that we hold on to these sort of medieval beliefs. You know, where did the universe come from? God made it. Which doesn't solve the problem for me. Because we straight away say, well, who made God? And if they say, well, he's always been around, well, let's just say the universe has then. Let's just cut out the middleman. It saves time.
It is.
Yes, if we accept that we don't know, if it's the default, we don't know, no one's come back from heaven, no one's proved it. You can't prove the non-existence of something, and why would you? The periodic table of non-existent things is infinite, you know. It's like... so if we accept that, that's a knowledge, that's a category of knowledge. But if you just say, what do you believe? You have to step up to the plate. You have to say what you believe. And if you don't believe in any God, right, you're an atheist. That's the other misconception. People think that atheism is denying the existence of God, right? It's not. It's just not accepting the claim that there is a God. You know.
But if there were 3 doors, which says God exists, God doesn't exist, I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
There's 3 doors. It says God exists, but doesn't exist, I don't know.
But you not knowing is irrelevant to where there is or isn't a God. Again, you've done a sleight of hand there on a category mistake, because 1 is knowledge and 2 are beliefs, right?
I haven't even finished my question.
No, what? No, there's always... I'm saying 3 is always there. If you had to choose one...
Yeah.
It's I believe there's a God. I don't believe there's a God. I don't know is irrelevant then, isn't it? I think they have to lump us in with, you know, agnostics, which again, I keep trying to explain that on Twitter, that they're not mutually exclusive. You know, one deals with knowledge, one deals with belief. And so, you know, people say on Twitter to me, they go, it's illogical to be an atheist, you should be agnostic. And I say, well, I am as well. You know.
Don't agnostics get on your nerves a bit?
Well, no, because we're all agnostic, aren't we? We're all agnostic by definition. If we accept that no one knows knowledge, I'm being very diplomatic here, but if we accept that no one knows that there's a God or not, right? We might be wrong. We're 99% sure, you know. But let's say we don't know. We're all agnostic. So take it out. It doesn't matter. Now we ask about belief. What do you believe? What's your best bet?
But when someone says they're agnostic, isn't it sort of tempting to go, why don't you just think about it a bit more then? Because
Well, I just think that there's a yes, but there's a category mistake. Some people do it because they don't want to say they believe in God, you know. But if you shouldn't ask an agnostic if there's a God or not. You should ask them, do you believe there's a God or not? Because then they can't say I don't know, because that doesn't make sense. What do you mean you don't know whether you believe or not, right? You know, so
And that's right.
I had to go to the doctor to have a medical for this tour. And I've had medicals before for TV work. They check your pulse and go, yeah, fine, you're not going to die in the next 3 weeks. But I always think, what if I fail the medical? What if they say, no, you're not fit enough? You can't do the TV work. Then I see Johnny Vegas on telly and I think, I'm all right. Do you know what I mean? He's like my canary down the mine. If I'm in a restaurant, I go, do you want a pudding? I go, is Johnny Vegas still alive? I go, yeah. I go, bring it on. Okay, now. So I went along to Harley Street, and the doctor said, it's a bit more thorough than usual. It's a big tour. So we need a urine sample. I went, fine, yeah. So he gave me the little thing in the bag to put it in. I did that, came back to him, good as gold. He went, oh, can you strip down to your boxer shorts? I thought, this is thorough, I've not had to do that before. But I stripped down to my boxer shorts. Oh, for fuck. The one day I wear white boxer shorts. Big wet patch from the wee. Why didn't he warn me? Why didn't he say, be careful, I'll be checking your pants in a minute? You know, and there's nothing I could do. I just stood there, and it was one of those pairs just had a slit, and I tried to sort of pull it over. And it pinged back, and he saw it. I saw the moment he saw it. There's nothing I could do. And I was thinking, oh, sorry, he's a doctor, he can't tell anyone. Then I thought, if I was a doctor, I'd tell everyone everything. I would. I'd come and go, you'll never guess what I found up an arse today. So I thought, oh, I'm just going to tell everyone. And I had to touch my toes as well, which sounds all right in front of a doctor, but it's still a man you haven't met before in pants that you've wet. So you feel really vulnerable and just... And you try and make everything look okay in the doctors, don't you? They go, does that hurt? Definitely not. Definitely not. Touch your toes? Easy, right? And the truth is, I've got to that age where I have to make a sort of noise to get me up and down now. Do you know what I mean? That didn't happen in your 20s. 20s, bang. 30s, bang. 40s, you go, why do you do that? I think it's a warning to family and friends. That they hear that, I go, oh, Grandad's bending over. And he's up, on with the barbecue. But things happen with age. But it's good and bad. I'm at that age now where it's totally acceptable for me to back in a lorry driver I've never met before. Do you know what I mean? If you're 20 and really skinny, they go, fuck off, mate. But I can go, you're all right, you're all right. Go on, go on. Whoa! Be careful, plods around the corner. Do you do that? Do you sort of be a bit more working class, a bit tougher with, like, people in boiler suits? All right, mate, yeah. Not too bad, yeah. Do you want a cup of fucking tea? Like that. Anyway, I wet myself. Good. After I came back, I told my friend about the wee incident, and my friend went, oh, you should have gone commando. What? That would have been less embarrassing, wouldn't it? So now I look down, I think, oh, I've wet myself, what can I do? Oh, I know, they're coming off too. That's as dry as a bone, Doc. Should have gone commando. Do commandos not wear pants? Why is it called? They must wear pants, don't they? Yeah. Why aren't you wearing pants? What? I'm a commando and I'm wearing pants. I've never heard that phrase before. I've never heard that phrase. They're going to see that. Just a little bit. Should have gone commando.